I'm super excited to tell you what I've been up to for the past week. I'm at the University of New South Wales, and so I got to understand, number one, what the educational system looks like here, and to see their investment in that education system. Rather than giving grants out to individual nonprofits, they actually give them to researchers who can actually back a toolkit. Now, this toolkit provides teachers the opportunity to choose between options at a higher success rate or something that gives them more opportunity to understand what they're choosing between. In addition to that, there's a huge culture of travel here. I love that. I think that's amazing. And I think we need more of that in the States. But by having more of that here, it's allowed me to see how each person interprets the world and their empathy that comes along with it. And in about 7 hours, I'm heading to Melbourne. This is not something that you see every day. Pretty cool.
Exploitation devices accessible from each exit.
Light up bright and glow, and she'd make it so that kisses were set in stone.
I'm sitting here waiting for a bus, and I'm a little sleep deprived. We just got into Melbourne. I just got into Melbourne, and I'm heading to a Couchsurfer to hang out with them today and kind of get my bearings before I start exploring the universities and nonprofits here in Melbourne. Excited. So I just met with Kim at Aurora Project, and she's really cool. She has a lot to offer and has been offering it for a long time at the Aurora Project. Here's a little bit about her and what she does.
Okay, my name is Kim Varlin. I am the Placements Manager of the Aurora Internship Program, and we are about matching students who are soon to graduate, who are passionate about working in the social justice space with an Indigenous focus.
Okay, so what does this mean for Passion Impact? Well, what about the opportunity to get engaged in a nonprofit internship program for students in high school? She also gave us some ideas as to how to have students become attracted to something like this. This could be something we do down the line, and maybe even ask him for help. I met with Richard Paddock the other day. He's at the Aurora Project. Basically what they do is they break down barriers to help students in the Aboriginal communities get into post-grad and PhD programs around the world at renowned organizations like Harvard, Yale, Cambridge, and Oxford. And so what he's done is he's made it easy to apply to these scholarships. In addition to that, though, he just got back from a 5-week trip abroad to the US and England, where students were actually immersed in these organizations, meeting people, talking about what they want to accomplish, and figuring out if those schools that they originally thought were the right ideas turned out to be the right ideas. So how does this apply to Passion Impact, right? Well, what if students who excelled in volunteering were awarded with the chance to travel the US and hopefully the world eventually, based on their merits, saw nonprofits, saw schools that might interest them, volunteered with other students, and really built these connections? This is a really great model that we can learn from to potentially build something like this down the road. Trying to get a bike here. So I just bought this bike. Came with a helmet and a lock. He did say the back tire was flat. Alright, so I'm walking my bike home, and I see 2 kangaroos fighting. So I'm about to go check this out. This is the first time I've seen kangaroos here. It's not the most astonishing thing in the world, but like, it's super exciting. Let's see if I can get close to him. I met with Sabrina, who is pretty much the volunteer coordinator for all UNSW, and what she does is work with about 100 students in this organization. She talked about how students graduate with and get their diploma, but in addition to a diploma, they get something called an AHEGS, and I do need to do more research on this, but basically it's an affirmation from the university that these students have done extracurricular activities resulting in this number of hours and this kind of education. So when applying for jobs, employers look at both the resume and the AHEGS, which means that there is a culture surrounding doing, not just learning, but doing, right? What can we do as Passion Impact that might help employers, anybody down the road for these students, see the value in what they're doing and not just the marks that they're getting in the classroom? But at this point, Sabrina has really done a number on us and really helped us figure out what a structure looks like when a volunteer student group comes in and really needs to be kind of put into shape. She also doesn't like interviews, but I'll give you her one word that she said for commitment to community.
3 words. I can only say one.
Just one? That's a good one.
Go away now.
Space stuffed our sacks as we packed up our bags. Ran home at last.
I think every American, everyone living in the United States of America or calls it home, should have a year or 2 years, or just of service to the country, to the communities in which they live, and to the broader world in which they live. And whether that's volunteering at your local animal shelter, or spending some of your entrepreneurial talent, or utilizing some of your entrepreneurial talent to create a free classroom for elderly folks to learn how to use Microsoft Word or what have you. As long as you're spending some time in service of the nation, I think you learn a lot about professionalism, a lot about how important the community around you is to your life, and a lot about kind of what you want to do with your life. Because I think they're all kind of linked, right? Like in figuring out and giving back, you're learning more about yourself.
Hey, Young?
Hi, I'm Nicole. I'm from near to a suburb in Sydney called Newtown, and I work at a restaurant in Newtown called Lentil and Jelly Fingers. Commitment to community is, I think, showing empathy and compassion to a lot of people in their circumstances.
I
I went over here to Thoughtful Foods on the UNSW campus, and I got to meet some people who've been volunteering 1, 3, 5, 10 years at the same place. So the things that I took away from them: great social structure, huge plus, and that also brings along a huge appreciation for everybody in the group. They have over 330 volunteers, 60% of whom are part of the student body here. That being said, the last thing is food. Gotta have good food. And if they can get it at a 40% discount, easy. You got the intrinsic and the extrinsic benefits. I'm looking forward to this next week and to updating you next week as well, but I'm also looking forward to understanding more about what motivates students and what motivates the volunteer managers and coordinators to bring about a healthier community, a better commitment to community.
will fade if I hear the bell tolling, and you have got to stay and teach my soul.
Their phrase, the tallest poppy gets cut. What that means is if you stick out above the crowd, you're going to get chopped down, and you're going to make sure that you understand where you place yourself in society as an equal.